Good. Okay, good afternoon, everyone. I am Mr. Miller, the principal of Odle, and I appreciate you taking the time to join us this afternoon. This presentation is intended for current fifth grade students who are going to be future Vikings, sixth graders come next fall. And we think this presentation will last about 45 minutes. And then at 4 o'clock, we'll do a similar presentation for parents, and look forward to having as many families join us for that. So our agenda for today, I'm going to share some general information about Odle, and our assistant principals, Ms. Barut Del Fiero and Ms. Verada, are also going to be sharing some general information. We also have asked some current sixth grade Odle students to address some of the frequently asked questions that we get from our incoming fifth graders. We're going to share some specific information about our summer orientation program for sixth graders, which is called WEB. It stands for Where Everybody Belongs. And then we're going to end with a couple of Odle students sharing some advice for incoming students based on their experience as outgoing Odle eighth graders. So again, we really appreciate you joining us. We know it's a busy time. It's exciting for you to be finishing elementary school. I know that it's a special time of year at your home schools, and you're simultaneously doing that and thinking ahead to middle school. So really our hope is that this presentation will just help provide you with some more information and some more knowledge as part of that process of transitioning to middle school. Okay, so one big question before we get started is, what will school look like in the fall? Are we going to continue with remote learning? Are we going to be at Odle live under normal operations? And the short answer to that question is we really don't know. We really don't know yet what the fall is going to look like. And we're going to do our best to answer questions as they come up around this through the summer and into the fall. But as of right now, we have a lot of unknowns. So what we're going to be sharing today is what Odle would be like under the normal operations that we have historically experienced. And then, like everyone has been this spring, we'll just need to be flexible and adapt as those conditions are changing. So I just wanted to say that from the outset. Overall, our purpose at Odle is to empower students academically, socially, and emotionally, to create a welcoming, equitable, and safe environment for students, and to support all students to become critical thinkers, problem solvers, and responsible members of their communities. And pretty much everything we do is in support of one of these three purposes. We are expecting to have about 1,000 students next year, and our students come from just about every elementary school in the Bellevue School District. Our students come from schools all over Washington State, outside of Washington State, and really all over the world. And our students speak 43 different languages in their homes. So it is a really an incredible community of folks who have all different experiences and backgrounds coming together, and this type of community where you have the opportunity to go to school with and learn from people who have had so many other different kinds of experiences prior to coming to Odle. We really think about this as one of our great strengths as a school, is something we spend a lot of time celebrating. Our daily schedule is a 7-period day. So you see first period starts at 8:38 every day. 8:38 to 9:30 is first period. 9:35 to 10:25 is our is second period, and then you see the schedule. So 7 periods a day, 7 different classes. We have 3 different lunch periods. All 6th graders have lunch from 11:20 to 11:50. We call that first lunch, and then we have a second lunch and a third lunch, which are split between 7th and 8th graders. You'll see in a minute, I'll put up a sample schedule. We have some classes that are required for all students, and then some classes that are not required. Those are the elective classes. We have some classes that last the full year, and we have some classes that are just 1 semester classes. And when we met with you in February and in March, we went through the whole course registration process where you determined what were the required classes you were going to take, as well as the elective classes. So we now have all that information from you, and we're in the process of finalizing schedules for next year. You'll also see that we have something called a tutorial period. So that happens every day except Wednesday. This schedule, this 7-period schedule, this is the schedule every day except Wednesday. On Wednesday, we do also have 7-period schedule, but we have an early release. So the school day ends at 2:20. Same start time, but the school day ends at 2:20 on Wednesdays. So this is the everyday schedule except for Wednesday. It's the same schedule, but things are just compressed. Classes on Wednesdays are 40 minutes instead of 50 minutes. We have tutorial every day except Wednesday. Tutorial is an opportunity where you can meet with teachers, or teachers could request to meet with students to do some more kind of individual work. And then at the end of the day, during the activity period from 4 to 4:45, that's when we run our extracurricular programs, and we'll share a little bit more information with you about that in a few minutes. So here's a sample schedule, and there's quite a bit of variation from student to student, but this gives you a pretty good idea of what a 6th grade schedule looks like. I've highlighted in yellow the required classes. So all 6th graders are going to take PE. All 6th graders are going to take science, language arts, math, and social studies. Not all students are going to be in the same level of math. They're not all going to take the same science class. All that has been worked out through our course registration process, but all students are going to take these 5 classes. And you'll see that science, language arts, math, and social studies, those are year-long classes. You'll notice first period, that PE class is just a semester-long class. So first semester, this student would have PE, and then second semester, first period, this student would have drama. And you'll see that this student chose for electives, drama, Chinese 1A, and choir. And that's where you'll see a lot of variation from student to student. You see again here the tutorial schedule every day except Wednesday. Teachers could require students to attend tutorial, or students could just decide to attend tutorial for some additional support or reteaching. And then again, the activities period at the end of the day. A note, one question that often comes up is, when are we going to get our schedules? A draft version of your schedule will be available online towards the end of August, and we'll have some communications coming out to families beginning in the middle of August, and in preparation for the opening of school, including when and how you'll be able to access a draft version of your schedule online. And then the final schedule, and again, this is what we do under our normal operations, and we'll just have to see what that looks like this fall, but the final schedule is actually distributed on the first day of school. One thing that I know many of you are excited about is that you're going to be issued a laptop computer from the Bellevue School District. And this is a device that will be on loan to you as your personal device for your academic and instructional work that every student will receive. You'll be expected to take it home with you every day and bring it back and to make sure that you Bring it to school charged. You should expect that you'll be using the laptop in just about all of your classes, and there are a variety of different applications that are going to be really critical. Probably the most important one is the Microsoft OneNote application, which is the platform where we store and distribute most of our instructional materials. You could think of it as sort of a digital notebook. So that is a application that you'll get familiar with very quickly. And when we distribute the devices, we'll take you through a series of lessons to kind of get you comfortable with some of the key applications. Microsoft Teams has also been an important application for us, and especially this spring, as we've transitioned to remote learning, Microsoft Teams has been our key application for doing live instruction remotely. So that'll be another application that will continue to be important regardless of whatever our context is. So those are some that's some general broad information about Odle, and I'm going to transition it over now to Ms. Verada, who's going to talk about some of the frequently asked questions that we get from our incoming sixth graders.
Good afternoon, Odle. Thanks so much for joining us today. Like Mr. Miller said, my name is Ms. Verada, and I'm one of the assistant principals here at Odle. We anticipate that there are a lot of questions you might have coming into middle school. Instead of just hearing them from adults, we wanted to give you an opportunity to hear from some current students about the most common questions incoming sixth graders have. So with that, we're going to cue a video that has the most common questions answered by current sixth grade students here at Odle.
Hey, incoming sixth graders. My name is Lemaire, and I'm a current sixth grader at Odle Middle School. I'll be answering 5 questions today. The first question I'll be answering is, what time does school start and end at Odle Middle School? School starts at 8:38 every morning, from Monday through Friday. And school ends at 3:30 p.m. every day, except for Wednesdays, when school ends at 2:20 p.m. The second question I'll be answering is, how much time do you have between each class? We have 5 minutes starting at the end of each class. The next question I'll be answering is, how long is each class? Each class is 50 minutes long, but on Wednesdays, each class is 40 minutes long. The fourth question I'll be answering is, how will we know where our classes are? That's kind of a tricky question to answer, but a tip is that on the first floor, it's from in the 100 ranges. On the second floor, it's in the 200 ranges. I recommend getting to school early on the first day to have an idea of where things are, to have an idea where your classes are, and to know where your classes are. But if you still can't find your class, just ask a web leader, anyone nearby, or just go to the office and ask someone there for help. And the last question I'll be answering is, when and what is tutorial? Tutorial is a time or opportunity to have time with your teacher after school to ask more questions and to get help on things that you don't understand. Tutorials are normally from 3:30 to 4 o'clock. Those are the 5 questions we'll be answering. I hope you have fun in middle school as a sixth grader, and good luck.
Hello, incoming sixth graders. My name is Arwan and I am currently a 6th grader at Odle. I bet you're feeling just like I was when I was in 6th grade. Lots and lots of questions. So here are some answers to some of the questions you might have. Does Odle have activities and after-school clubs? If you want to be a part of a club or do an after-school activity, then Odle is the school for you because we have clubs galore. All clubs start at 4 p.m. and go till 4:45 every day except for Wednesday. Some of the clubs include Yearbook Club, Jazz Club, Black Student Union, Anime Club, and so many more. For a full list of all the clubs and activities, you can go on the Odle website, and reminders are also given through the daily announcements. Now, if you're thinking, this is all great, but how do I get home? Well, the late bus is waiting to take you home after clubs are done at 4:50. That's all. Peace.
Hey, incoming 6th graders. My name's Audra. I am a current 6th grade student. The first question I will be answering is, how's the food at Odle? The food at Odle is actually not that bad. It is better than elementary food for sure. One of my favorite foods there is the spicy chicken sandwich and the pizza there. So if I was you, I'd definitely try it. Another question is, what is available for lunch? If you are feeling like you don't want to eat something heavy, I would definitely try the snack bar. The snack bar has so many options there. The third question I will be answering is if you can go outside for lunch. You can go outside for lunch after the 10 minutes are up. People in the lunchroom will tell you when the 10 minutes are up. You can also go outside there's so many activities for you to do out there, and you can just go out there to hang with friends. Another question is if you can go to the library for lunch. Yes, you can go to the library after the 10 minutes are up too, and people also in the lunchroom will tell you when you can go. You can also use your laptops at lunch, but one thing is that you can't use your laptops near the tables or near the food. So hopefully it answers some of your guys' questions.
Hello, incoming 6th graders. My name is Damien, and I was a 6th grader at Odle last year, and I'm going to answer 2 questions that you might have for being at Odle this year. So the first question is, what do we do if we're missing assignments or you are not doing well in class? Well, one of the things you could do is, if you don't know what assignments you're missing, you could go on student view or parent view, either one works, and see which assignments are missing. Also, if you're not doing well in class, you can always come to tutorial, if either after school tutorial or lunch tutorial, if your teacher is there. And that's how you could that's what you could do if you're missing assignments or not doing well. And the other question is, what do you do if you don't know anyone in class? Well, actually, I know how this feels from a personal experience. You might feel like this too. You can always talk to the teachers here at Odle. They're very supportive. And you can talk to the teachers and tell them that you don't know anyone and you're not very comfortable. But mostly, from my experience, mostly people, if you don't know them, you could try to start talking to them and eventually you can be friends. You never know. And so yeah, those were the answers of 2 questions.
And no, you don't shower in PE. And you don't have PE for the entire year, just one semester. unless you take it as an elective.
Hello, incoming 6th graders. My name is Vedant, and I'm a current 6th grader here at Odle. Now I will be telling you about 3 commonly asked questions about the technology given at Odle. The first question is, when do we get our laptops? You will get your laptops on the first or second week of school. The second question is, where do we go to get our laptops fixed? You can visit the tech help to get your laptops repaired, and they will give you a loaner to use meanwhile. The third question is, where do I get another stylus if mine gets lost, stolen, broken, etc.? You can get a new stylus from the office.
Hey, incoming 6th graders. My name is Vedika, and I'm a current 6th grader at Odle. So the first question I'm going to be answering is, how can we use counselors? Counselors can help us be more successful in our classes and help us get through sorting peer pressure. They can help you make plans to be more successful in your classes and can help you if you have any trouble with teachers or students. The second question I'm going to be answering is, what do you do when you get in trouble with a student? Utilize an adult. There is many supportive staff at Odle, and they're ready to help you whenever you need it throughout the entire school year. You can talk to them or you talk to your counselor about what's happening with you and this other student. Thank you.
Hey guys, my name is Melissa and I'm a current 6th grader at Odle Middle School. The first question I'm going to answer is, what assemblies does Odle Middle School usually have? There's an Odle Recognition Assembly, where Odle recognizes students that have contributed to the Odle community. There's a Winter ASB Assembly, where there's a student versus staff basketball game. I'd say that's pretty fun. And there's an Arts Assembly, highlighting our dance, orchestra, band, choir, and drama programs. The second question I'm going to answer is, are there all school assemblies that are just for fun? I'd say the Winter ASB Assembly is tons of fun because it's a student versus staff basketball game.
Hello, future 6th graders. My name is Pri, and I'm a current 6th grader. The first question is, what do we do if we forgot a lunchbox, a laptop, or PE clothes at home? You can tell your parent to drop it off at the office. I lost my laptop right after they gave it to us, but I did tell all my teachers, and the next day I brought it. Your parents are busy, that's an option too. The second question is, what do we do if we feel sick in class? Well, you should go to the nurse and prioritize your health because, as we saw in this situation, your health is very important.
Hello there, incoming 6th graders. My name is Lillian, and I am a current 6th grader here at Odle. The first question I'm going to answer for you is, how do we know if we need to leave early for an appointment? A parent or guardian needs to come and check you out in the office, and an office assistant will either come get you from class or call your teacher. Now, the next question I'm going to answer is, what do we do if we are going to miss multiple days of school? If you know you are going to be gone ahead of time, make sure to get a prearranged absence form and have your teachers fill it out. I've had to go through that before, and it was pretty easy. It is also important to ask your teachers what learning you can engage with while you are away. Thanks for listening. You'll be great in middle school.
Hi everybody, I am Milo and I'm a 6th grader, and today I'm going to be answering a few questions about middle school. The first question I'm going to answer is, can you use your cell phones at school? Cell phones should not be used in classes, but you can use them at lunch if you like. The other question I'm going to answer is, do you have to use your lockers at school? You do not have to use your lockers, but they are available for whatever stuff you need to hold. Some do not even use backpacks, and they just carry around their binders and laptops.
Okay, great to hear from some current 6th graders. Now, Mr. Sieberson is going to cue the slideshow, and something that you may not have heard about on this video is school rules that are at Odle. We do have some really clear behavior expectations, but instead of listing all of them, what we like to do is we like to think about 2 questions. The first question is, what kind of community do we want to create at Odle? And the second question is, how do you as a student want to feel at Odle? These 2 questions shape and guide how we expect students to show up daily at school and inform how we teach expectations and appropriate behavior. Because we want to create a welcoming, equitable, and safe environment, we teach students behavior within 3 expectations: being respectful, responsible, and safe. This aligns to our school mission. All students learn what it means to be respectful, responsible, and safe at Odle. Through these expectations, we teach students what it means in different areas of the school. Then we recognize that students are working hard to engage in these behaviors and be their best selves every single day. Each day, we work to recognize this behavior when students are engaging in respectful, responsible, and safe behavior. Now, we also recognize that sometimes we're all learning and that these key behaviors aren't followed. When that happens, we take steps to repair and restore relationships if there is harm that occurred. All of this is in service of learning and growing from past experiences. With that, I want to introduce our other assistant principal, Ms. Barut Del Fierro.
Hey, Ms. Barut, will you hit your microphone so that we can hear you a little better?
Hey, thank you very much for that, Ms. Reeve. So once again, my name is Ms. Barut Del Fierro. I'm one of the assistant principals at Odle. And you know, we have mistakes that happen, and that's one of the cool things about middle school. It's a place for us to practice our mistakes and overcome them. So that's a good thing for you to remember as you also think about the kind of community that you want to have here at Odle. So thanks for that transition, Ms. Ferrata. So one of the things that we're going to keep doing and thinking about is that transition into middle school. And one of the celebrations that we have, I kind of always think of a celebration, is we get to take all the 6th graders to Camp Orkila, which is in Orcas Island. And we get to spend 3 nights together in May, really learning about each other, about ourselves, and building on that idea of what is our Odle community. Because many of us are going to be together through 6th, 7th, and 8th grade. And so we try to end the school year on deciding what kind of community have we been and what kind of community are we going to continue to be as we move into 7th and 8th grade at Odle. So you're going to have a cabin with some friends that you've chosen and some kids that you might not have met yet at school. And you're going to work with a high school counselor and really think about that sense of belonging and community at Odle and within your cabin mates. And you also get to enjoy the outdoors. We get to go and do some scientific experiments out at a pond. We get to do some nature walks, and it's just a really fun time. Some of the other things that you get to look forward to are our activities and clubs. So thank you. So after school, as one of our students so enthusiastically explained, we have some pretty amazing opportunities for you after school. So many of your elementary schools have something called Jubilee Reach, which does a lot of sports. We also have that. So if you're thinking about football, soccer, things like that, that's what you can also continue doing at middle school. We also have some different sports that some of our teachers do for a badminton club, for example. But if sports isn't your thing, we also want to see what you have interest in. So we have a science circle club, we have yearbook, robotics, we've got a Black Student Union, a Rainbow Club, we have kids that are really focused in math and jazz. And one of the cool things about transitioning to middle school is you get to try out some things or decide on some things that you want to see. So if you're like, wow, I'd really love for us to have an anime club, great, find some friends, find a teacher to sponsor that club, and we can see if we can make that an ASB club at Odle. So start thinking about those things and what kind of experience you want to have while you're here. Next thing I'm going to talk about is web. So you're like, wow, there's a lot of cool things that are going to happen, but I'm still kind of nervous because I'm leaving my elementary school, which many of you have been at since kindergarten, into this school that has a lot more kids. So Web, Where Everybody Belongs, is a program where we connect our really awesome 8th graders with you guys, our 6th graders. So let's see what that's all about. So our web students are 8th graders that were selected. Well, they first said, I want to be a web student, and then they had to get an application and fill it out and tell us what it is that they think they can do or why they are leaders. So they're 8th graders that have a fun, positive, supportive attitude. They want you to feel like you belong and that you don't have any worries coming into middle school. So we really think that there are leaders at the school that can help you out with all the questions you have, like, great, I know I have this locker, but how do I open this locker? Or, man, last year I only had to be in one classroom with my 5th grade teacher. Now I have to go to 7 different classrooms and figure out what lunch is like, because lunch is pretty cool because you get to decide who you have lunch with, but how do I decide that and what does that look like? So the web students are going to walk you through all those questions, and we're going to see what kinds of programs that you're going to have with them. So the web program really connects you with 8th grade leaders. So there will be an event in the fall where you get to meet them, and we'll talk about that a little bit more, and help transition to what does that look like for me to go in the halls? What does that look like for me to know where all the science classrooms are versus the LA classrooms or the world language classrooms? But even after that, they're still going to be with you. So throughout the year, you guys are going to have times where you can connect. There will be times where you connect and talk about, man, are you staying on top of your organization for your classes? Do you know how to use your planner? Are you figuring out how to use your laptop, especially if we go back to remote learning? And do you need some help with your homework? They'll have opportunities for tutorials for you to meet back with your mentor, because that'll be your mentor all year long. So it's really a home-based person for you. And there's also times where you guys just hang out. So there's also web movie social. So you guys can watch movies together and enjoy that. So it's really that mentor, that friend for you to have throughout your 6th grade year. And many of you will become web mentors when you enter 8th grade. So it's a pretty cool program that you can go and give back to. And then lastly, you want to, well, when do I get to see them? And so mark your calendars. Thursday, August 27th, we will have our August orientation. You get to meet your web leaders. They are going to reach out to you before this date, and if there's any changes, they're going to let you know. But you'll find out who they are. You'll get to meet them on that day. You'll get to see what the school looks like. You'll figure out where the lockers are, where the gym is, and just kind of get a general sense of the school and that web group that you'll see over and over again for the tutorials, the movies, and everything like that. So looking forward to seeing you guys soon. And I'm going to go ahead and have the 8th graders talk to you about some advice or their words of wisdom. So we also have a video queued up for that.
I'm Isabel Lopry, and welcome to Odle. Future Viking, the next 2 years are going to be a roller coaster. Trust me, there are going to be a lot of ups and downs, but through it all, you're going to come out of Odle a different and more mature person. Looking back on 6th grade, I see myself as so little because there's so much I didn't know. Make sure to focus on schoolwork and always push to be the best. Be yourself and your real friends are going to find you, but still put yourself out there. Stay out of drama and have fun. Make the most out of your 3 years. Just know I think you can do it. It's going to be great. You're going to learn so much and make so many friends. Soon I'm going to be a freshman at Bellevue High and I'm so nervous, but if I can do it, you can do it too. Bye.
Dear future 6th grader. So, middle school. Nervous, scared for what comes next. But honestly, it doesn't have to be that way. Middle school, it's different. It's gonna be different, but it changes people for the better. I know that because it certainly changed me for the better. Middle school teaches you to be disciplined, to manage your time. It teaches you valuable people skills, valuable leadership skills. It's really important. And I think if you approach it with the right mindset, which is, hey, I'm not going to know everything, but if I know my strengths and I use those strengths to figure out things that I don't know yet, then I think you will have a much easier time going through middle school and learning things that you haven't learned, because there's going to be a lot of stuff that you haven't learned yet. And sometimes you're going to be like, why do I have to learn this? But remember that the more you pay attention to it, the more interesting it will be. That applies to everything in middle school. And you just have to attack it with that same mindset every time. And I'm telling you, it will work. And it will work because you will want to get through it. You will want to learn more. At least I did. And find ways to make new friends. Be open, because it always helps. You're never going to be able to do anything on your own. I couldn't. I certainly needed friends to help me out on the way. And it was worth it, really. It was a good 3 years. And I wish you the best of luck. And I hope you have a good 3 years here too. From Santosh.
Okay, so some great advice there from Santosh and Isabella, and we hope that you have found this presentation to be helpful. Again, I'm Mr. Miller. It's a great honor to be the principal at Odle, and we really don't know what school will look like in the fall, but we do know that our staff and our team are going to be entirely focused on how to support you through the transition from elementary school to middle school. We wish you well in this final week of school, and we look forward to welcoming you in as our new Vikings and joining our community when we see you through our web program at the end of the summer. So thanks again for joining us.